Amazon Kindle is for reading books, magazines, newspapers, blogs. Think of a book, and you can be reading it in a minute. That's Amazon Kindle. Kindle brings together a few things that really make it work. They're all focused on simplicity and making reading as great as it can be. We use a new kind of display technology called electronic ink. Everybody does a double take the first time they see the display because it doesn't look like any computer screen you've ever seen. It looks like paper. Wireless is an essential feature because you can do something with wireless that you could never do with a physical book. And that is that you can get a new book in less than a minute wherever you happen to be. And that's pretty cool.
What I wanted to do was to take advantage of great technology and do what only can be done electronically, but apply that to reading, because I think it's been underserved. Everyone reads. People enjoy reading. They love being involved with a good story. They love reading newspapers. I think what people will be most surprised about when they take their Kindle out of the box is how easy it is to set it up and get it working. All you have to do really is take it out of the box and turn it on.
It's so simple you can be a moron, and it works. It's invisible. It takes no intelligence at all. Anybody who can read a book can function with this thing.
A lot of thought has gone into this, obviously, and a lot of it is very practical, which is delightful, because sometimes there seems to be a gap between technology, engineers, etc., and the real world. And it seems that somebody has bothered to bridge the gap with this.
And it's almost as if certain technological companies would like to send you off to boot camp where you would be yelled at and forced to do push-ups in the mud for 3 weeks before you, to get the skills to finally learn how to work it. And I don't want to do that. And certainly the Kindle does not want to take you to boot camp. It assumes that you already know how to read.
And I think it'll be much more attractive to walk around with an instrument in your hand and read whenever and wherever and how much you like. So I think it's huge.
It is more like reading a piece of paper. The ink is dark, it jumps off at you. It looks like ink. It's easier on the eye than the printed word.
There's no glare, it's not backlit, which is kind of magical. I think people are going to be very, very surprised by that and delighted.
Within a few pages, you completely forget that you're reading on a Kindle. And that was our top design requirement.
After about, I'm telling you, 5 minutes, you cease to think, I'm looking at a screen. It's not like reading a computer screen. I mean, the genius of the thing is you don't notice that much difference, really, between reading on this screen and reading in a book.
Not only can you read books on Kindle, you can read newspapers, magazines, blogs. You can read the Wall Street Journal, the New York Times, the Washington Post, Time Magazine, Forbes.
Point is this, look, even if it only did books, I'd say, I gotta have that. Even if it only did newspapers, I'd say, I gotta have that. I mean, it's amazing. It just means that it's going to be one-stop shopping for all my reading.
In a way, it's like going into a big store and being able to get, pretty much anything you'd want.
This is BlackBerry for blogs. So the key is that there's constant flow here, and we don't have to go and pull it. It's pushed to us. So if you're obsessed with blogs that are constantly updating, not once a week, but once an hour or twice an hour, this is a no-brainer. This is an absolute necessity.
When we first started studying wireless, our first thought was to make it a Wi-Fi device. But we realized that wouldn't work for what we envisioned because Wi-Fi doesn't work everywhere. We wanted it to work on a train, in a car, wherever you happen to be.
It's magic. People talk about books all the time, but they're not in a place where they can buy the book when they talk about the book. This is a traveling store.
It's an incredible way to get books. You can, one push of a button and you have whatever new book you wanted. Believe it or not, you'll have it in 60 seconds. That will, I think, blow a lot of people's minds. And it just starts their brains going about how cool this is.
The point that I realized that I had moved from skeptic to absolute believer in this device was with my daughter Maddie, who's 12. We were on the plane, they hadn't quite shut the doors, and I thought, well, she's going to want something to read. And I went on to Amazon with the Kindle, downloaded a bunch of Meg Cabot books that Maddie had wanted to read, and stuck them on there. It's like having a genie who you say, Genie, go and get me this book, and they come back in 30 seconds and the book is there. That in itself is amazing.
The first thing that was instantly gratifying was getting up in the morning or in the middle of the night with our 5-week-old baby and finding that 4 newspapers had arrived in the thing, and I didn't have to go out the door to get them. My newspaper was being fetched for me. I don't have to have a dog. The dog won't. I don't need a dog to fetch the newspaper. My Kindle will fetch the newspaper for me.
The great thing about the wireless technology on your Amazon Kindle is there is no monthly plan, there's no service plan, there's no minutes. Amazon takes care of all of that for you. We pay all of that. You don't have to worry about it. You can just buy your Kindle, download books, and start reading.
I think by far the coolest thing was that the retail price includes broadband wireless connectivity. And I always assumed it was going to be $10 a month, $15 a month, $20 a month, whatever it is, you know. But when I found out that it's included, then it became a no-brainer.
Now, it's funny, I was just thinking about this because I was in the doctor's office with it. And you look at the doctor's office, and there's a 6-month-old copy of People magazine, an 8-month-old copy of Fortune magazine, and they leave you sitting there for an hour. Now, that is usually an experience that's just very irritating. But I had this, and so I could outwait them. It was the equalizer. No matter how long they made me wait in the doctor's waiting room, I could outweight them.
The immediate appeal of this device is traveling with lots of reading material in 10 ounces, as opposed to 3 books and a newspaper and a giant magazine, and I have had the experience of picking up books at airports and thinking, oh, this is really what I want to read for the next 4 hours, and discovering 3 or 4, 10 pages into it that, no, I really don't want to read this. I'm not interested in this, and I'm stuck with, with a flight magazine.
When we designed Kindle, the thing we were really focused on was making sure the Kindle completely disappeared in the reading experience. It needs to get out of the way. It can't be a flashy device. It needs to be transparent so that you can be really close to the thing you're actually reading. That's what you care about.
People have gotten used to having their music with them. I think likewise people will be used to having their text material, their reading material with them all the time.
It's not an e-book, it's a library. And it's an interface with the largest library in the world and the largest bookstore in the world, and anything you need can be on there. And at that point, when you realize that, it changes everything. And at that point, it becomes absolutely unique.
This technology will be ubiquitous. It's not going to go away. It is going to. This is the future of book reading. So it will be everywhere.